My name is David Sejinja. I'm from Uganda in a small village called Bira, and I've been living here for 15 years in the US. I work at Utah Valley University as an academic advisor for the Multicultural Center, and then at the same time I teach history and political science. Besides doing that, I also am engaged in advocating against human trafficking and helping orphan children and helping where I can in building schools, digging water wells, and doing HIV/AIDS counseling. In Africa, we have a saying that says it takes a village to raise a child. And so when we are when we are living in our small villages, it's the whole village that takes an initiative to educate, to help you. So many people invest in you with the hope that you be a return on their investments. And how do they do this? They pray for you, they encourage you, they motivate you, and they inspire you to be good and to be better and not to give up. Here, sometimes it's very difficult to fit in with the philosophy of a village, whereby your neighbor, everyone, and everyone is on their own. And little do you get that sense of a village. But sometimes when we meet together as a family and friends, you feel that sense of it. But because of the culture shock that one encounters and that back crash, sometimes it's a challenge and a tragedy where sometimes you have to conform to the traditions of a given culture. Unlike our culture where everyone and anyone knows everyone, here it's a bit not the same. There has been a lot of political innuendos about refugees and don't come to our country, let's take our country back. But looking at the history of America, which has been made of immigrants from all over who were once refugees. So in one sense or the other, we all have been one-time refugee. And some of them ran away from their countries because of seeking asylum, because of political turmoil, because of religiosity, some of them because of gender. And so all those things are reasons why they run away. And when they come off on our shores, let's embrace them, let's give them hope, let's give them courage, let's strengthen them, let's make them feel they are part of us, who we are, as a good fabric of our society.
My name is Tito Momen, born in Nigeria, raised up in the Middle East. So I live in Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt. Yeah, my childhood is all about schooling. Yeah, a lot of schooling, no more sleeping, 7 days a week. I have no childhood like you. That's all I do. Well, as a child, I long to be a pilot and civil engineer. That was my dream. I was kicked out of Syria. I had to leave Syria within 24 hours. I ended up going to Lebanon because that's the only way I can escape. Got some help from somebody, and where in Lebanon we have Nigerian embassy, so we had some help from Nigerian embassy. I was picked up by friends at the airport, taken to their house instead of going to hotel, and so they give me all the help I needed till I get back to the airport and leave the country. And final one, when I came here about 4 years ago, and same thing, they take me to their house, and then I came to the university 2 days later, and International Center introduced me to someone who take in charge of me, So take me to get apartment, do my registration, do all the necessary things to integrate into the university. So I'm working for them because they call me to be the representative to help refugees in Utah.
So I'm John Purnell, and I'm the founder of the Refugee Action Network. I was born in Canada, but I've lived in Pakistan, Portugal, Brazil, Taiwan, Holland, various states in the U.S. So, and I'm, a dual citizen, American Canadian, and it really is something that, throughout my life, it has felt like really a preparation for kind of right now where, in being in Utah Valley at this time and in looking over what the needs are in terms of how we might be able to help refugees. We have over 70,000 refugees in Utah, but they're all resettled in Salt Lake Valley. What happens is through that resettlement process, those refugees are distributed throughout the nation and entrusted to the different resettlement agencies that then they go through the government program of how they set them up and how they help them get on their feet in this new land. Normally that means that they're going to be put in government subsidized housing. They're going to receive access to food stamps and to Medicaid, and so a lot of different government programs that are available to them to help kind of bridge while they are kind of getting on their feet. So our vision is, gosh, if we could just mobilize and have a structure that people could use, then they could mobilize, they could serve those refugees. They just need to know how. So this is like a humanitarian service mission that comes to you instead of you taking your family and going halfway around the world and building an orphanage, spend 10 days or something. Ultimately, this is where you are able to make meaningful and profound changes and in helping someone in great need, and it's not easy. It is with sacrifice and it is with real service, and it takes time and it takes commitment, and it is a courageous thing to step up and say, yes, I want to do this. But that's where a lot of these people are. They want to provide that help, but there's nothing to kind of bridge that, and that's what brought this organization into being. These are people who, in throughout the neighborhoods of the valley, they might be people who can hire, they manage departments, they own companies, they create jobs. This is the second highest community in the country for job creation. So you've got really the perfect ingredients here for the best outcomes, and especially when you talk about integration, because you're integrating them into the neighborhood with the local population. If you surround yourself with those who know the culture here and who speak the language here and can show you the way that things work here, it will help you and not hinder you in terms of your growth and arriving at a level of self-sufficiency. And then you can be self-determined. And you can then decide where you want to live, who you want to live near, who you want to spend all of your days with. But at least you have those skills first. So that's what really the whole goal is to take 15 months and help those refugees or refugee families basically take off their plate the worry of survival and give them the tools for empowerment with English language acquisition and job skills training so that they can reach that self-sufficiency.
The simple message I want to leave for everybody here is that we have to look into refugees as normal human beings whom are in need of help because they are in a new territory, in a new place which is not their own, they're in a new place where we have different tradition, different culture, different way of doing things than from where they come from. So by helping them to assimilate, we will solve a lot of troubles. And by helping others is by helping themselves. Because if you can help those in your neighbors and they become a good citizen, there will be peace in your community and development. My message: be kind and be nice, and it will pay a lot.